And we are live. Hello, good evening. Today we're going to start in other way. Today we're going to start saying, first of all, thank you to Rob to contact me and say that is a problem we have to discuss that everybody's forgetting. And Rob is here today. Thank you, first of all. And we are going to
Good evening,
talk about,
Nelson. Thank you.
I think we have to talk about this. I think it's very nice for us to go for a ride. And sometimes we forget about special persons that need us a lot. And you are the right person to come here and speak about that. I think everybody's coming. Uh, Today is not a right day. Today is a very important, and we need the support from all of you around the world to talk about that. And maybe if you have a group ride or something like that, discuss that with your friends because sometimes they need us. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, that's totally correct, Nelson. The micromobility and PLEVs are not only just great for the environment and for commuting and also great fun for group ride outs and exploring the countryside, but they have a more serious nature as well. And if I give you a bit of background to how I got into PLEVs, I had a major operation back in 2017, which resulted in me having what's called a permanent ileostomy, which is basically a permanent hole in my abdomen. It also left me with some scar tissue as well. And it was about a 9-month medical treatment program, which when you go through something that big in your life, it makes you sort of rethink things through. And by the end of my surgery and by the end of my recovery, I decided, well, I don't want to use my car as much, and I'm aware that I need to continue exercising my core muscles on an ongoing basis for the rest of my days. And you know, what's the best way of doing that aside from going to the local gym or going for local walks, etc. And I saw, I think it was T. Sean Fahey on YouTube with his electric unicycle. I looked at the electric scooters. I nearly bought one, but I didn't. And I ended up going down the route of electric unicycles. And within the first few months of actually, after learning to ride it, it was quite tremendous a difference. It really helped my core muscles. It maintains my core muscles, which in turn helps me maintain my recognized apparently disability, which is called a permanent ileostomy. And as a result of going out and about, I've been connecting with many more people who have either injuries, walking difficulties, or disabilities, who are also using PLEVs, not just EUCs, but also electric scooters, um, electric skateboards, one wheels, etc. And it really is great to see.
Okay, I think too. I think we can start going. We can start like this. That is one thing that you started. That is your own page, and we are talking about electro scooters and PLEVs in UK. But that is a problem that I think we have not just to talk about UK. That is around the world, and that is good to see you guys starting with something like this because it's very important. Uh, for me, I have to be a place always to start something, and first of all, I just want to say that everybody who don't know the Hope is one of the uh, uh, persons who are with the right ables work in UK. That is a community to help a lot in UK. Can you explain a little more for the people who don't know, or maybe they
Yes, of
don't?
course. Rideables.org is a small group of individuals that have been around for several years now. And the sole aim of Rideables is to represent PLEV users and work with not only the users, but also be the interface between the users, retail, media, and the government as well. So Rideables have a while back drafted their own policy recommendations for the government. And again, I think about 18 months, maybe 2 years ago, started discussing that with the government. And we're trying to sort of keep our foot in the door whenever the government make any key decisions, etc. So we're not so much involved with the trial, with the UK e-scooter trials that are going on, although we fully support those. We're more trying to do our best to get privately owned device representation in there, and work with suppliers, etc., to try and get the message out there that trial scooters are great, but they have their drawbacks, and privately owned PLEVs are or can be a lot safer, have proven to be safer, and of course, they have tremendous environmental benefits over the trial scooters, particularly because of the sheer numbers of such devices that are currently in use, despite them being illegal.
And you see, this is the first, the 6 persons who are responsible or who are doing something very active. Most of them, they as all of them as electro devices, and they are very. I know most of them. They are very prepared, and they are doing a fantastic job. I hope that you can. I hope that you guys can put maybe the laws a little better for all of you in UK. I know that the situation is not so bad in UK, but I think with the time, with more electro device that you're going to have there, more problems is going to happen, and that's a thing that you guys started before the problem is going to come, and I think that you can solve the problem very fast, and maybe.
Well, we're doing what we can, Nelson. I mean, the interesting challenge we have at the moment is with the media, whereby there's a lot of pushback on these trial scooters, where they're getting better, but they were being left everywhere, which is a danger to other pedestrians and even people with disabilities, sight problems, etc. And we've been the media have been coming back saying, well, e-scooters are bad, and we're going back to the media saying, no, it's not the device, it's the rider of the device that's responsible, like it is the driver of a car is responsible for driving it, and driving it safely and being responsible, like motorbikes, push bikes, etc. So we keep trying to rein back the regular media panic that goes on, because these devices are new, and it means change, and they're not going to go away, because the benefits far outweigh them being sidelined. And we're trying our best to manage the media as best we can to say, look, it's not the devices, it's it's end user, rider training, it's their responsibility, so on and so forth. And that's what we're working very hard at.
Not to change the subject, but just to finish, I just going to tell for everybody what Rob is saying, and I understand him, because we have the same problem in Germany. We cannot go. There is lots of problems with this scooters to rent. The people who use it, they don't respect nothing. They think we pay, we do whatever we want, and then they leave it in the middle of the streets. They that is a big confusion, because there is lots of complaints by the police, and like people, the disabled people, sometimes the space they have to go, they are used by this device, because nobody respect it, and the companies who rent, they don't want to give responsibilities to the person who was riding for the last time. And that is the big discussion here in Germany, that we want that these companies tell, okay, the last person who ride this electric device has have to be responsible, and the companies, they don't want to give this responsibility to this person, because you can get it, you can say the last person is here because that is with a credit card. And then comes the big discussion. But that has nothing to do with us. That is private. We are private riders. We don't have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's you've pretty much hit the nail on the head. Rentals are cheap. They're cheap to rent. They're not the property
Hello,
of the
Benny.
renter. They're a property rental company, and they just pay their few pounds or few euros to rent a e-scooter, and they don't care about the device. They just care about having fun and making the most of the time that they have
Hmm.
to use the device. Whereas, as Nelson, and many other private owners know, we put in a lot of initially upfront investment into our own devices. We want to protect them. We want to protect ourselves because we enjoy riding them. We don't want to be in hospital for 3 months
Hmm.
riding recklessly,
Yes, of
etc. And we
course.
take them home. So
Yeah, but that's the problem. That is the message we have to send out to the group rights. I think that is like education. Education. Everybody says, "Oh, the teacher I have to teach my son." No, that has to begin from home. You have to start teaching your kids. It's the same like us as riders. We have to teach the groups and say, guys, that is very nice for you to go for a group ride. That is very nice for you to do it. That is very beautiful. But we have to start from a point and say, okay, there is rules, there is something, we have to do it, and if we want to go ahead, we have to, like you, we have to go and help the ride ables. You see Kavyuki, Ricardo is with you guys, and I think it's fantastic to see that Carv is together uh, with all of you, and pushing, uh, first of all, to be legal, but not second, but more important, to bring this respect and helping people who are disableable to have the chance to have a space. We need, all of us need a space.
we've got an interesting situation here in the UK because in March 2019, the
Mhm.
UK government Department for Transport released a future urban strategy document. And in that document, they showed pictures of very empty streets with people on bicycles, scooters, e-scooters, etc., and delivery people, and it all looked very clean, very nice, and everything else. And in that document, the government made it very clear. They said, we are talking, we see a future in micromobility, and their definition of micromobility was any vehicle that could carry one or two people. Okay, any small portable device that could carry one or two people. And within that definition, they included electric scooters, electric skateboards, and I think there's one other which escapes me. And we thought
AUC,
that's great. No, no, not EUC. Definitely wasn't that.
one wheel.
Um, no, it wasn't even one wheel. It may have been maybe just been segways, which
Okay,
is a very old term. But
because
the
everybody who
key
don't
issue
know
we have,
that everybody who
sorry,
don't know, X-Way is the only one who has a license to for you to ride. If they has a license, I don't know how they in Germany you are legal to ride scooters because of this. I don't know how Segway uh, put this, but they are legal to ride in Germany, the scooters. I didn't know. I was in an
okay.
interview
No,
with them, and they said to me that we are legal to ride all over Europe,
mm.
and I was very
I mean,
surprised.
yeah. The issue we have now is back in 2019. We thought great, the government have made the micromobility definition, and what's worrying us is that because of COVID, um, the government were pushed to do something about micromobility, and all they've done is focused on e-scooters, nothing else. And we're trying to say, look, you guys made the definition, and we have privately owned people with privately owned devices who meet that definition. So come on, let's get the two working side by side. But that's an ongoing issue.
But in a conversation that you have in this time, I see some of the interviews from you, and what is as for all the interviews that you have with them, and that you have with all the persons who are trying to put legal. What is your opinion? What you think? Are you going in the right direction, or you think that is like? a very hard thing to change in a very
It's
like.
it's going to be a hard thing to change. It's certainly going to be a challenge. And for me, when I joined Ridables, it was obvious, the benefits of privately owned devices over e-scooters is probably obvious to everyone, including the government. But the government was standing firm. For the government, it's just they tick the box for micromobility because they're doing the e-scooter rentals.
Mhm,
Now we've tried to, via the media, unfortunately not directly with the government, because the government have effectively closed their doors until the trials have come to an end and they can analyze the data. So our only other channel really is media. And what we're trying to say to the media is, look, you know, we have these devices that solve a lot of the problems with rental devices. We have a lot of data because the government keep on going on about getting valuable data. We have a lot of data from an existing user base in the UK, which is currently estimated at some 500,000 devices privately owned in the UK. And so we're now trying a different angle. We're now want to push the more serious end, which is one of them is disabilities, because a lot of people with disabilities who want to use an e-scooter can't use a rental scooter because it would just be too expensive, and the scooter itself may need some form of modification. So you can get like an adapter kit,
mhm,
which will maybe use to connect a standard wheelchair to an e-scooter,
mhm,
and you basically motorize your wheelchair for significantly lower cost than a purpose designed electric wheelchair. And the other thing, which is a study that I did, you may have seen one of my recent blog posts about PLEVs replacing car journeys. And we originally estimated, or I originally estimated, based on
mhm,
numerous stats and figures, that there was that there's a chance that well, not a chance, but it was realistic to calculate that PLEVs, privately owned PLEVs, could replace 35 million plus car journeys a year.
ooh,
Now, that was based on 250,000 privately owned devices. And since posting that blog, we since found out via a Commons discussion in Parliament that there's actually more like 500,000 devices. So you can double that. So you're looking at potentially, if privately owned devices were made legal, that potentially replaces over 71 million car journeys a year,
that is a
which
lot.
is phenomenal. And the amount of car CO2 that will cease going into the atmosphere as a result of those 71 million car journeys being replaced by PLEVs is a huge benefit to the environment.
Yeah, I think too. That is, I was not. I never think so much, and that is a big difference, and that is going to change a lot in the cities, a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, New York, at the
To
start of
your,
at the start of the pandemic in New York, and I'm not going to talk about rider behavior.
yeah.
The authorities in New York City, I think it is, um, they had a ban on PLEVs, but the pandemic came along, and they said, okay, well, we don't want, we want to try and control this COVID. So therefore, we have declared an amnesty on anybody who's riding a PLEV sensibly. We have told the police not to take any action until we finish on releasing the legislation surrounding PLEVs in New York. And lo and behold, PLEVs came big time onto the streets in New York. And I think it was November time, maybe October time last year, when the New York authorities then said, right, we've now approved the legislation, drafted and approved it. It now goes live on X date, which may have been December, and from December onwards, you can still use your PLEV, but in accordance with the legislation, and the amnesty will then be lifted.
Mhm.
So what we're trying to get across to the UK government is saying, look, the idea of an amnesty was successful with New York. Now, all they had, I know it's more complicated than this, but all the UK government have to do is say, right, yeah, police force, UK police force, don't do anything to those riders who ride sensibly, okay, responsibly with proper safety equipment, etc. Leave those people alone and can't focus your resources on more important crimes. But absolutely, like with cars, motorbikes, push bikes, any antisocial behavior or dangerous driving should be dealt with by the law.
Mhm.
But you know, just by taking that, to me, would be a simple step. A meeting with the police chief in the UK and giving them those instructions. Boom, 12 months later, you would have eliminated over 71 million car journeys.
And you
You
think
know,
that is possible?
well, I mean, I've spent many hours going through all the figures, and if you take a look at my blog post,
Hmm.
it's got all the references in there. So basically, Lime scooters and a few other scooter companies have come back saying that um, you know, generally around 30% of e-scooter journeys replace car journeys. Okay, and so we then went through the figures, there, and indeed on the blog post itself, we made reference to the e-scooter trials. I mean, the government wants to run the e-scooter trials for 12 months. They've run them now for 9 months, and the government themselves have come back with some very impressive figures, which demonstrate how safe these devices are. And so we now know the devices are safe as a result of trials in 50 different areas of the UK across a 9-month period. And we now now let's get some privately owned data from privately owned individuals. But to do that, they need to put in some kind of amnesty or some kind of temporary release, as it were, so that the police force in the UK don't have their time taken up trying to confiscate e-scooters when they should be perhaps focusing on drug gangs, stabbings,
Yes, yes, yes. I understand. I think that
their
is a
resources
very.
are tight.
I think that is a good point. I have a question here that to skate riders. Thank you for your question. How much percentage of the total of cars journey made in this figure?
Oh wow! Okay, so how much? So thank you to Escape Riders. How much as a percentage of total car journeys is that figure? That's a very good question, and I remember trying to look it up. It's very small, and I would need to Google it again. It's a huge figure, annual car journeys in the UK. I did look at it briefly because I was interested in doing comparison, but the difference was so huge. It was such a minor percentage. So I left that figure out on the grounds that it would be better just to give the figure, which will get people's attention rather than, oh, it's 0.0, whatever it
Hmm.
is.
He has made another point here. Is I have read that the air scooter are air carbon full pitch and a double deck bus. Is that true?
Wow, that's new. That's news to me. I haven't heard that one.
That
Please,
if you have the link, can you send us? Then you can
yeah,
put here.
please send the link.
Then
Great.
send us the link here. Then we can put it here, and then we can discuss that. That is a very good. That is new for me too. Thank you for bringing these two questions. That is very good. That's why I love this live. Sometimes it comes new information for us. We just have to see if this information is right or not, because there is lots of information sometimes we bring in a table, and then later we see that the information was not correct. That's why is we are here about that. Yeah, I'm seeing that you put here the way you put it, Rob. That is very nice. Like I was thinking here, electro scooters replacing cars rides, like in Lisbon, Lyman, 30%, 21 in Lisbon, the
Mm-hmm.
city of in Portugal. I didn't know that in Lisbon. I know that Lisbon is a city they want to put all the cars away. I know that that is idea. I don't know how they're going to
That
do
would
it,
be great if they can do that.
but that is just promise. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
that is.
a big challenge, a big challenge.
I think that is a big
Great.
challenge, but of course, I think that will be a fantastic thing. Maybe to change the idea of the world, but I think it's difficult.
Well,
Today,
it Nelson, it's difficult, but I mean, we have electric cars, and we have for a while now been trying out autonomous cars or semi-autonomous cars. We also have the upcoming flying taxis, etc. as well. And I've always had this thing for ever since I've learned, since 2017. I've always had this thing in my head of, well, it's been very easy for me to replace pretty much 70% of my car journeys with my PLEV, with my EUC. Yes, it's not pleasant riding in the rain, but I still, if I allude back to the picture, I think it was in the Future of Urban Strategy document from the government, whereby I would like to see urban roads, cut down in size, whereby most people are either cycling, using PLEVs, or just walking. You get the occasional electric Uber, but more affordable electric Uber, picking people up, etc. And you have electric delivery vehicles, and that's it. You have no private vehicles. They seem to have disappeared.
I think you disappear.
That's worrying. 1 second. Let's have a look.
With you disappear. I look in.
So I disappeared.
Yeah, you disappear.
That was me. That was me. I don't know what happened. One moment.
But I just want to
Still
say
here.
to everybody is coming and out there, if you have the questions, yeah, perfect. I just want to say thank you. Personal electro transport is clearly the way forward. Yes, of course. We think that's why we are here. You don't see too much people here today. It's very sad that we have not so many people here today, because that is important subject to speak, and we have to change the way our riders, because it's very nice to go for a ride, and when it's to come to important subjects, nobody comes. It's very nice to take a picture, but you have to think that the picture. I'm going to put it like this. For Rob, I was talking in private with Rob, and we was talking about a problem about in Germany. I'm going to tell this like you in UK is not so hard the police with you guys, but in Germany that was the same system like you before we have the scooters about 1 year and a little more. They put it legal, and up the moment they put it legal, then happen everything, and now they are like chasing us, all of us. And the problem is like the fines are very heavy. You can talk about 3,000 to 4,000 euros. I don't know in pounds, but I think
Wow.
and they take your device. You have to imagine if you have a nice device like it's a AUC or a skateboard that costed £2,000. Then you put it more £3,000 of fines. Then you put more the fines from the court, and then you're going to see, oh, why I was not in this interview, why I was not speaking about this matter. That Rob is fighting for all of you. Right Ables is fighting for you guys, but oh, they are going to do it for us. No, you have to do it too. That is not easy for six persons to do it. If we don't do it all together, that's not going to be easy. Don't think that they're going to change. It's like here in Germany. Here in Germany is Electro Empire. Electro Empire is two persons are working for all of us. No, we have to work all of us together. That's why every Monday we make an interview, and everybody says, oh, interviews every Monday. Yes, because we have to listen to everybody, and we have to listen to opinions, and we have to work what is the best way for us to find. Is the same thing like you guys in UK. Rob is trying to fight for all of us, and is trying to create one beautiful thing that nobody thinks about it, is people who are disabled and they cannot do nothing. They need us. And that is why I think these interviews are important, because riding, oh, that is events, everything, everybody can do it. And I hope that everybody in UK enjoy the rides, but to enjoy the rides, first you have to be legal. The police have to do his job. If there is a law is against, and if it's too much, then the police is going to make uh, the law happen. And but if you fight it, for me, I think I'm talking about me, because in Germany is impossible. I was very sad today. I was very sad today that I was for a ride with my friends, and the only picture we can put out was just from the skateboards, from the AUC, on from the electro device. We cannot put our faces, because last Monday was a police here. The chef from police was in interview here in Germany, and he said, at this moment, all the videos, photos can be used against you in German. That is
Wow.
enough.
Wow. That's
That
ridiculous.
is
So,
enough.
so Nelson, in the UK, privately owned devices are legal on private land with the landowner's permission.
It's the same
So,
like here.
yeah, so many people here are riding. You know, most of the riders are out in the countryside having a great time and etc. Thankfully, at the moment, the landowners, like the estates, the UK estates, royal estates, shall I say, etc., aren't having too much of an issue. But there are a few parks who are starting to have issues, whereby we had a funny one a few weeks back, whereby the owners of some parkland said we're banning e-scooters, and they're banning e-scooters for two reasons. One, they are quiet; they're too quiet, and two, they're too fast. You see, and of course, well, there's another device which is also quiet and can often be faster than many electric scooters and PLEVs, and they're called bicycles.
Hmm.
You know, and it's just absolutely nuts. But it sounds like you guys are having a tough time over there in Germany.
It's very bad, but we are not moving. I think there is a very special person here in a moment. Morai, I think he's a disabled person and I have a disabled, and my e-scooter has given me freedom back. Thank you, my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, thank you, Murray. I mean, this is the issue. Is that I've been in touch with many people who ride PLEVs because it helps their disabilities. It gives them their freedom back, their mobility back, their independence back, and they quite rightly have been putting their health first.
Hmm.
Okay, and which is absolutely the right thing to do. And yes, I agree. I mean, the thought of of some policeman who's having a bad day, saying, right, I'm going to take that off you because it's illegal and I don't really care about your disability. That is just horrendous. And
Yes.
it just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, and you see, but I'm worried to use it because they are taking off by the police. That is very sad, my friend. And you need that.
Mm.
You need your freedom. That's why Rob is here. That's why everybody have to the group rights. The We have to work all of us together. I think that is a brilliant idea from Rob to go to the media. The media, I think, is going to be one of the big doors, because the media can do lots of damage to the persons who don't want to talk about it, because if they put it out and they support our cause, that is going to be, when they start to talk it, then it's going to be difficult for them to turn around and say no, we cannot listen to the right cables or to the electro device. We have to do something. Then the laws is going to change. But we need the media in our side, and that's the problem, because lots of medias, they are pay for private companies, and sometimes it's difficult. I know, I see the difficulties here in Germany, and I understand you guys, but I think you are in going in the right direction. I hope, my friend, that you can have the freedom to go ride your a scooter. I hope that we can tell you very fast that you can ride your device, but in a moment, watch it. I see lots of pictures. Rob see it too. Lots of pictures, the police taking the a scooters, and most of them is private scooters. That is the big problem, is not these ones to rent.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. Murray, it's great having you along, and we have. I brought up a list of some of my contacts on social media who are using their PLEVs to help their disability, and to give you to give you an idea. We have a guy who um, has a limited ankle movement and significant nerve damage, and he can't bend his ankle past 90 degrees, and his left arm and hand are incredibly weak, so he can't even hold on to an e-scooter, and he rides, he rides EUCs. They give him a feel of control back. It's minimal pain, and he's got his independent travel. There's another guy who's got cystic fibrosis, which affects the lungs, and he also needs to use portable oxygen when on most walks or exercise. He
Mm-hmm.
uses an e-scooter, and that's transformed things for him. He can get out and about. Somebody else with spina bifida, which is limited flexibility in the spine, another e-scooter rider who can now go out with his girlfriends to take their dogs for long walks. He doesn't have to stay behind.
Mm-hmm.
We have somebody who unfortunately was a victim of an IED when he served in Afghanistan, and
Mm-hmm.
he had most of his tibia, fibula, and
Mm-hmm.
femur smashed to pieces. And he initially started out on an e-scooter, but he now rides an EUC and also an e-skate as well. It allows me to travel, and more importantly, it helps him with his mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have autistic people. We have a double below the waist amputee riding a one wheel. Okay, so he actually rides one wheel using his hands
Oh.
instead of legs, which is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have pensioners, retired old people who have
That is
walking
another point,
difficulties
my
because of
friend.
their age. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been asked many a time, how much are these things? They're wonderful. And I remember about 2 years ago, I was going for a ride by myself near the coast in the south of England, and it was off. It was going along this sort of beachy path, and this woman who looked like she was in her late 70s, possibly early 80s, saw me coming, and she stood. I could see her. She positioned herself right in front of me and waved her arms like this to stop me, you see. And I thought, uh-oh, she's going to have a go at me. And she had a big grin on her face, and she asked me about my EUC. And I said, well, why are you so interested in these things? And she said, well, because I've just ordered my first e-scooter, my first electric scooter. And I said, well, why did you order electric scooter and not like an electric wheelchair? And she said, well, electric wheelchairs are too expensive and they make me feel old. And that was
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
And she probably has, has probably been using her electric scooter a while now to actually explore the seaside and have a wonderful time without having to, walk a very short distance, get out of breath, and having to go back home again. And these devices that are so wonderful for people with disabilities are illegal.
Yes, that is very sad. I just want to say to you, I'm very sorry. I understand what you are writing. I'm going to speak with Rob in private. I think this we're going to make some interviews. I would like to have people with this with disables to come here and talk about it. I think you are one of the persons who can come here to the live, and I'm going to put. I'm going to speak first with Rob in private. I'm going to put Rob in an interview, not me. I think his English is better than mine. I think that is something we have to bring in a table, and I think that the people who are out there who have a friend who needs this contact us for him maybe to come here and speak about it. I think that is very important if you are from UK, and I think you can put it everything out. We are seeing here a person is speaking. He is afraid to ride because he knows he cannot come home. He has no
Yeah,
chance to come back home if the police take his, first of all, freedom, and second of all, is going to take his device. And that is a very, very sad thing for us to listen. In a days of, we are in a year of 2021. Why these things are happening? That is not very nice. That is very sad. I
yeah,
think.
it's extremely sad. I think, I mean, Murray, I don't know if you're in the UK or not, but that there's a very interesting thing which I spotted on Facebook last year. And in the UK, we have um, the Department of Government called the DVLA, which is the Driving Licensing Authority, and they're the people
Hmm.
that issue logbooks, with, to prove that you actually are a registered keeper of a vehicle, and that they issue number plates for new vehicles, etc. Now, they also an e-scooter rider who has a disability got so fed up with
Is in
risking his
UK.
e-scooter disappearing. Oh, great. Okay. Hi,
Hmm.
Mike. Um,
I just want to
that
say,
he
sorry,
that
sorry. I just want to say,
gone.
my friend, contact Rob. I'm going to leave the links. You can contact the Ride Ables org, and I think that is very important for you. I think you are in a good direction. You are in good hands because Rob and his team, they can help you a lot. Sorry,
So
Rob.
this no, that's okay. So this e-scooter rider who has a disability, he actually filled in a new registration, a new vehicle registration form for an invalid scooter, and he sent it off to the driving license authority to see what would happen. And surprisingly, um, they approved his application, and he received his license plate number, which he then put on his scooter. So I thought that was very interesting. So I thought, well, I have a disability. My EUCs help me as well, and you've seen the pictures of
Hmm.
my EUCs with the
I'm
disabled
going.
or
I'm going to
disability
show it
stickers
now.
on them.
I'm going to
Okay,
show it.
and
Sorry. I just
that's all
want
right.
to I just want to put it here. First of all, this one, and now we're going to put it like
There we
this.
go. There we go. So I did the same as this scooter rider. I filled in the forms as the same manner as he filled in his, except for the difference in vehicle make and engine number, etc. And that was done during lockdown. And lo and behold, I received my registration plates for my two EUCs. Um, However, and I wrote a blog post on how I did this. However, because these devices are still technically illegal in the UK, having your PLEV registered with the DVLA in the UK will not make it legal. Okay. But the reason I did it and some others are doing it really is that if they are successful, and it is hit and miss, because I know some people who haven't been approved yet and they're getting asked lots of questions about their devices because the DVLA aren't familiar with these devices.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm proudly going around on my EUCs with the license plate showing and also with a disability sticker, really to educate people and police as well. So I had a very interesting discussion with some of my local police here that these devices have an important use, and they're not just for tearing around the place, being used by drunken teenagers, kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's why we're going to put this direct. We don't have nothing. Most of the people who ride this device, most of them, they are more mature persons, as private. There are
Right.
persons who sometimes, like me, I ride about 9 years now, close to 9 years, and I was every day to my work every day, and today I cannot go. That is so sad. I never use
Good.
my car. My car was like just something I use more maybe when I was buying something for my house, because I have to bring lots of things. Most of the time I don't use it, and now I'm afraid of going out, and that is so sad. That was a car left in the street, and now, because I don't know why they don't they what they see, it's wrong. I don't know what they see in UK is wrong. uh I try to understand. Sometimes I try to understand what is so difficult to put it legal. I don't know what is. Do you understand, Rob?
It's a very old law. So and my memory on this is sketchy, but that there's some law from the 1800s, I think
Mm-hmm.
1835 or something, which made a classification about using transport on pavements, so on and so forth. And then there was an update, I think it was in 2018, where they said, no, yeah, in relation to that law, we are saying that e-scooters, EUCs, et cetera, are illegal and will remain illegal. And to get the e-scooter trials approved because of the pandemic was very difficult for the government. To make PLEVs legal will take a heck of a long time to go through our wonderful legislative processes that we have in
Hmm.
the UK, because they are out of date, they haven't been modernized enough, etc. So, this is what, they're going to need time. And I have a feeling that New York City, the authorities there, had a similar problem. And that's maybe why they went down the route of, okay, let's declare an amnesty until we get our side of things sorted out,
Okay. Yeah, but
which is sensible.
yeah, is yes, it's of course I understand you. I speak with the persons from here from Germany, and I say, why don't you give us a chance 1 year? I say to him, give us one chance of 1 year testing. Just test it. See how
Hmm.
that reacts. And I said, why don't we sit and say, okay, what you want us to do? Let's work all of us. We say to them, we can make like you ride ables. You are responsible to for the people to take a license 1 day riding, and then you can explain it to everybody. What is the rules? Where can you ride? Let's put
Yep.
1 year testing. Why not? I think that will be good for everybody. Don't work 1 year later. Okay, we have to sit again, and that is not going to be. That is the difficult. They don't want to sit and talk. For us and for you, it's easy for you to contact the persons from the government. How many times do you sit with the persons from the government to speak about that? Or it's difficult to have a contact with the government to try to change the laws?
Yeah, I mean, it has to go in a certain direction and go through certain processes and procedures, which, the ministers, the government employees are the experts on those. But the problem we have is actually convincing the government to include privately owned devices in this upcoming legislation. And
Mhm.
that is our big concern. We don't want the government to say, right, we are legalizing PLEVs. Well, actually, we're legalizing only e-scooters, but actually, we're only legalizing rental e-scooters, and that's it.
That
And
is
we don't
wrong.
want. Absolutely, it is totally wrong. And so this is why we're trying to engage the media as best we can, etc., to get the message out there. I mean, the governments around the world like quick wins, and through the calculations of the environmental benefits of privately owned devices, my blog post, and
Mhm.
also the the seriousness of the disability benefits as well. Those are quick wins for the government, and particularly the environment one is huge. And we just got to keep banging our heads against the brick walls or against the walls to try and eventually, in the hope that we actually make a hole through the wall and we get through to somebody in government to actually look at these figures.
Yeah.
Because whichever party is currently in power, if they can say, right, as of August, we're making privately owned PLEVs legal, or we're declaring an amnesty. And as a result of that, we can say that we will reduce the number of car journeys by over 70 million car journeys in the first 12 months.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
huge thing, but it's communicating that across. That's the problem, Nelson.
And then you see here the authorities are using electro e-scooters. They are using and we cannot use. That is like
Yep.
crazy. That is
Well,
like
if you there's one where if you just scroll down for me, that's it, just there. And if you click on the right where it says e-scooters PLEV safety, I think it's that one. If you just click on the right-hand arrow on the right of that and click to the right,
wait,
so
what
there's an arrow just beneath the go button on the right-hand end.
here? Wait a
Nope.
second.
So Just scroll back up a
E-scooters.
little bit. No, scroll back up a little bit. It's not that obvious. You see a little arrow or greater than sign. You see the black go button by the Amazon advert there.
Yeah.
Yeah, down a bit. You see
This
little
one.
arrows. No, go up a little bit. You see little arrows.
Okay.
There. Okay, click that one.
Was too
No,
much.
okay, it's not there. All right, so if you search for Mike Hart on YouTube,
Write to me.
you'll find this interesting.
Write in a private chat for me.
I'll put that in private chat. Bear with me one second, and I'll bring that up for you.
Then I don't do nothing wrong.
I think you'll find this very interesting. And
yes,
bear with me. I think your viewers will too.
It's going to be on front. Governments are, and that is the governments are lazy. They benefit with the.
So I like that GPT. Nice one.
That is something it can happen. And let me see. We regret to having sons of pandemic believing the so having keys words many self-inclusive. That is yes, the policy of transport to go to the work during the pandemic. Yes, my friend. But the problem is. Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to go very fast here. Just put it here. Just put it now here. So there we are.
There you go. So just scroll down, you'll see the video itself. So there we have a UK policeman who is realizing the benefits of privately owned e-scooters by using his e-scooter on the pavement to go to work.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great that police are also realize the benefits of e-scooters. And
of course, there's a big benefits.
Yeah.
The only thing Rob, we are not who are destroying us is this rent e-scooters, because I can show you pictures. Believe it or not, I can show you picture, because every time I catch it, I take the picture, because I think the rent companies, they do it everything wrong. And then they just want to make money. That's the important thing. And sometimes I catch 3 persons in a one scooter. That is like the control is not there. Sometimes I see kids riding the scooter. I don't understand, because you have to pay with a credit card.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I see a kid riding, and then if was accident here, I don't know. I was where was that? I think in Germany. It was about 1 year. A young kid, 15 years, he died in a scooter, and he has a crash in a taxi in Berlin. But that was a kid that the father put his credit card, and the kid was not prepared to ride it. It's funny. I know that is funny. Oh, my kid is riding a scooter. But if you're not prepared, that's why ride ables are there. That's why the group rides are there, for us to give instructions. But for the rent companies, you just have to go there. You never try nothing, because that is funny. The people say, oh, I'm going to ride this. And they don't know how to ride it. They don't know nothing. And then they do the mistakes. And then the government is going to put the complaint in us, saying, oh, they are dangerous. No, they are not dangerous. That private person.
We have that all the time in the media here in the UK, whereby as soon as there's an accident, it hits the media. And there was one very sad one today where 2 teenagers on, two teenagers on a single e-scooter, privately owned one, from what we can gather, were unfortunately hit by a car. They're in hospital. We hope that they're okay. And the media have latched onto this. So e-scooters are bad. They're dangerous. Shouldn't be allowed. Should be banned, etc. But you've got to put it into context. So there's been about, so from in 2018, There were 17,550 cyclists injured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 99 killed, over 4,000 seriously injured.
Whew.
In May last year, because of the pandemic, cycle use in the UK has increased by 120%. So those
Wow.
accident statistics are going to skyrocket. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the moment, that 17,500 from 2018 is vastly greater figure than the number of e-scooter e-scooter problems. And okay, there are fewer e-scooters than there are bicycles, but I also wrote a blog about comparing the safety of e-scooters to push bikes, and they actually came out pretty equal. I mean, if I want to be pedantic, e-scooters were 0.06% safer than bicycles statistically,
Mm-hmm.
and again, it's trying to control the media, trying to reduce the panic. These devices aren't evil,
Mm-hmm.
they're not unsafe. They are as safe as any other transport device if ridden sensibly and properly and within the rules. And it's
And we have
sadly
to,
you get very few people that don't do that.
yeah, and we have to educate, put a little more education in the media, because the media, most of them, they never try it, they never ride it, they don't know how that works, and they don't know that AUC has a balance system. They just see that is one wheel and that is dangerous. And sometimes I was today, one friend of us tried for the first time AUC, and he was impressed how the balance of
Mhm.
this AUC, and in 2 minutes he was riding. And the guy was like, I was not expecting that. And I think that is the problem, is we are not well informed, and
No,
that is,
it's education again.
yes, we need more education about that. That is very important. I know. I just want to say here to my, uh, uh, first of all, I know that in Australia we're having the same problem. There is some states is legal, some states is not legal. I hope you guys can. I know that you are fighting too. Is difficult, but I think you are in a good way. It's good that in Australia is different than here in Europe. I don't know how works that in UK. For us here in Germany, if one place is legal, have to be the complete country. In Australia, you can do it by states. There is some states is legal, some states is not illegal. How that works in UK? If there is a law, is for uh, all UK, or is states too?
It's the law will be valid for okay. Well, that's a very good question. The assumption is any legislation regarding privately owned devices, if it happens, which I
Hmm.
sincerely hope it does, should be UK wide. But what's interesting is that the trial scooters, they have left that to individual cities to decide whether or not they want to have take part in the trial scooter program.
Hmm.
I cannot see that happening for privately owned devices because, you know, it's just impractical. It's almost like legalizing cars
Hmm.
by state. So therefore, you have to park your car when you get to a state line
Hmm.
before a state where they're illegal, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's one of the many benefits of PLEVs is they're so portable. You can take them on
Yeah.
the train, etc. So it
Hmm.
makes it impractical to take it from a county in the UK where it's legal and then end up in a county where it's illegal to ride. So I suspect it'll be UK wide.
Yeah, I think that will be the best way, because of that, then you don't know what you are doing. You are riding from place A to place B, and you say, "Is that the place B legal or not legal?" Then is not legal, and you think is legal. Then I think it's better for one country. But in the moment in Australia, I think that's the way they find. They some places that they go there to ride. I don't know how is this from disabled persons in Australia, but I think that is not so nice. In 10 of July July is going to be a demonstration in Netherlands, Holland, to be legal. Netherlands is illegal to ride. The fines that are very big. If you are listening to this interview, if you have the chance, go there and support our friends, the community. They need the support from you. They are fighting a lot. There is a nice group of persons. There is a person who start to do this demonstration is a young guy, 15 years old, together with his father, and I think they are legal. I think I don't want to say something wrong, but I'm going to put it here for everybody. But if you have the chance, go there. I think they are doing a fantastic job to be legal ridings in Holland, and I think they are doing the same like the ride ables. That is, they are very big, and the last petition was 20,000 people subscribed for the petition, and they are a small group like the small group from right ables, uh, and we need you guys. You have to work a little more, support. Rob is alone trying to take care of all of you. That is not easy. That is difficult, huh, Rob?
And talking of demonstrations, Nelson, there's one in London on the 26th of June as well, outside
Wait a second.
outside Parliament.
And is going to be a demonstration that you can go with your device or not, your electric
Okay,
device.
so this is where I need to be careful. So a demonstration has been organised to demonstrate for the legalisation of PLEVs. There's been no guidance on the Facebook page as to whether or not you should bring or you shouldn't bring your PLEV. So, I mean, my own view, if I was able to make it, which unfortunately I'm not, my view is that if I was to go, I'd certainly bring my PLEV, but I would not ride it.
Okay.
Just to, and I recommend the same. But there is a risk because the police may be there and they may use it as an excuse to confiscate more PLEVs. So
Yes.
it's difficult.
You have to be careful, guys. That's why I said now in UK is not so difficult. I'm going to say here was a demonstration about 3 weeks, and 2 days before the demonstration, the police contact the person who make the demonstration and said, "You can do it, but you have to walk with your device. You cannot ride it because it's illegal."
Yeah.
And the persons in the streets, they say, what is your demonstration, what is the cause, because nobody was understanding. And that is like something with no sense. Why you are the, and we have to speak to the persons. Oh, we want to be electric, we want to ride. And they say, and why you not riding? He say, because the police say it's illegal, you cannot ride it. And they say that makes no sense. That is like that is like and then they send us out of the city and they say, now you can demonstrate here in this place. But this place was 1 kilometer, or I don't know in miles, 1 kilometer that you can ride, but was not one house, not persons. You cannot. What was you demonstrating to the? That's why, guys, if you are in UK, you are in the beginning. I think you have to contact more Rob. I think you have to contact more the right ables to know what you can do. How can you help it? How can we work with these disabled persons? They need us a lot, because you have here a person who talks today, and he was very is very sad for us. Is very sad for us. Uh, um, it's very sad for us to see a person is afraid to go out, and then he has no chance to come back to his home because maybe the police is going to take his device. I cannot open that rope.
Oh,
It's
okay.
blocked.
Okay, let me just
That is blocked.
let me
I
just
cannot.
do a screen grab of it. It may be because you remember the e-scooter UK or not?
Is good as UK?
Yeah, you remember that group or not? Maybe
Yeah,
not.
yeah. E-scooters UK. Just a
One,
second.
one sec. It's okay. I'll give you the picture. It's no worries.
We are talking about a person who has is afraid to go out because he don't have no chance to come back home because he don't have if he lose his scooter. That is just a person talking, but with Rob there is lots of persons who speak with him and say the problems, and that is very sad. That is very sad for us to listen. I don't understand. Is this one?
Uh, no. So I'm not able to send the picture on the
Mm-hmm.
private chat, but basically, on the
Send me by
26th
a
of June,
WhatsApp.
Saturday.
Send me by the Facebook.
Ah, good thinking. I should do that. Bear with me.
And I'm very sad
Why
for
don't you
you,
go
my
on?
friend. I'm very, very sad that you cannot be free to ride your device because you are afraid. And that's why we have to talk more about this. And that is a point I'm going to bring more in this in our lives, because that is something we have to talk more. Uh, and I speak the first time with Rob in um, the first time we speak. I think was in
Okay.
what's the name in I
I
forget the
think.
name.
Don't worry.
The f-
Don't worry. There's no problem.
yeah, now we are here. Uh, so we are.
So that's the information about the upcoming protest this month
Mhm.
in London.
Okay,
And I don't know. Did it say how many are going there? 105 are going at the moment, which looks very promising.
105. I'm
Yeah.
going. Yeah, I think that is just the beginning. I'm going to put it. I'm going to put here. I'm going to put in my website to bring most of the people that we can. I hope that they can share with us if it's possible for us to ride or not. Um, I think that will be very good for all of us. I think I'm not member of this group. I have to see it. Uh, and I think that is very important. Thank you for bringing this. I'm going to take a notice because I love to put this in my channel because that's the right way for us to try uh, to bring that. But we have to see how they react in because what you said is very important. I was last time about 1 year in Netherlands, and I was in a demonstration. And when the demonstration was finished, Rob, what the police said to us was so crazy. The police just said the demonstration is finished. If one of you from now on ride your electric device, we're going to take it from you. Like this. I was like, and I looked to the guys of the who organized the demo, and they put it like this: "It's going to happen. Don't do it." And I said, and now nothing is surprising me anymore. You understand, Rob? That is,
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
uh, and that's why, guys, if you go to this demonstration, watch it, because you can lose your electro device, and that is not very nice. Uh, I think we let me see what we have here more. Um, most I love my AUC. I don't want to be stuck driving on a
Ah,
scooter.
that's a really interesting
Uh huh.
question from two Eastgate riders. So when I first saw that question, Nelson, I thought,
Hmm.
well, depending where you are in most cities in rush hour, your car's going to do 3 miles an hour anyway, so you wouldn't be
Yeah.
stuck behind the scooters because they'll be filtering and disappearing off into
Hmm.
the distance. But no, I mean speed limit is interesting, and the again it's education. We know that our devices. I mean my little EUC will do 19 miles an hour. My Nicola will do 40 miles an hour.
Hmm.
But just because just because one of my ECs does 40, it doesn't mean I'll always ride it at 40. It's the
Hmm.
40 is there as a buffer. No matter what vehicle you ride or drive, car, EUC, e-scooter, motorbike, you will drive in according to the conditions that are safe at that point in time. So no, I mean, what we're trying to say is, look, don't complicate things. This is to the government. Don't complicate things by trying to restrict, you know, the top speeds or the motor output power, etc., etc. Just make it simple and just say, look, if you're going to ride a PLEV, then it has to conform and stick to the same speed limits as the other road
Hmm.
users, whether
Yeah.
it's 20 or 30 or 40 miles an hour. That's simple. Um, because yes, I mean, we even get stuck behind bicycles at times on country roads, and they can be a pain. But then, what
I
can you
was
do?
I know, because today I was riding with my friends, and the when I see that this was a place where is lots of bicycles, and that was sometimes we have to wait, and I think like this. We have to find a way that is good for everybody. We don't want to take the freedom from no one. We want to have all of us. There is always a place for everybody. The important thing for us, I think, is for, first of all, helping today is the disabled persons who need us a lot. Second, my dog is very active now, and second, second of all is for us to take these cars away from our cities, to take care of all of us. The people don't understand. Most of them, they thinking we are talking. Oh, the car. What's the problem? Yeah, the car is a big problem. Nobody cares. Nobody thinks that is not a problem. I'm going to make it like this. One friend came to my house about 2 years. No, more than 2 years. Maybe close to 3 years. And he said, Nelson, I'm going to be faster with my car. We work together. I'm going to be faster than you to in my car than you in your electro device. And I say, okay, we can try it. I ride normally, not fast. Normally, maybe 18 miles per hour or 70 miles per hour. I was enjoying myself because I know that it's going to have traffic. And I was maybe 5 minutes before I make a nice coffee, and then he came and he was riding a car, and I was not riding fast. And he asked me, "That is not possible. You came me the." Yeah, I said no, because I don't have no traffic. I don't have nothing. I came free all the time. I don't have to stop. I don't have nothing to do. How many times do you stop? And it was in a jam. It was,
Yep,
th-
that's it.
and nobody knows. Nobody knows, Rob, when the car is stopped and waiting, how many pollution they make. The car make more pollution when he stop than is when he's on riding. The people don't understand. The car stopping
Yeah,
the. Yeah, please, please.
this is again. This is where this is an area that I haven't had the time to cover yet, because in the UK we have the National Health Service, which costs
Mm-hmm.
the government billions every year, and we have huge amount of people who have diseases that are triggered by pollution,
Mm-hmm.
and the government has to pay the healthcare costs to help those people recover or for ongoing care. You sadly have too many children dying or having serious asthma, again from pollution, from the vehicles. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so frustrating because not only does it will widespread PLEV use as well as bicycles as well. Getting fewer cars will not only make the air cleaner for us to breathe, easier to get around, faster to get around, but it will save lives and reduce costs to the government. And again, sorry, end of my tether here, Nelson. It's very frustrating. I would like to
Yes.
scream, but I won't.
So first of all, I just want to say for everybody who came here, thank you so much. please share to your friends to see this live. This channel, like always, I say that is free. We don't win no money. That is a free channel. That is just for information to try to help you out there. Today we have a person from a nice group of persons who are trying to help in UK for you to be legal, for you to ride. Uh, if you have the chance, go there and support them. They need you a lot. Don't just say, "Oh, they are fantastic. They are doing a nice job." Maybe there is sometimes if you contact them, you need help. How can I help you? Uh, where can we do? What can we do? Then they're going to tell you, okay, we need this and this. Can you try? Maybe you have a friend who works in
Government.
a in the government, in the media, and that is like one door is closed, the other is going to open. That's the way we have to do it. If you have asked to a friend from the friend from the friend if it's possible to do, that is going to open doors. I know that is most of them is going to close, but if you don't try it, then it's going to be all the doors closed. You have to try it, and you're going to help them when you say, "Oh, I help him open the door." Maybe this door is going to be the important of all, and you're going to say, "I was the person who helped to change, and today we are legal." That's the way we have to work,
Yeah.
because we don't know everybody. There's millions of persons in the world, and if you know, of course, I work in Germany with lots of persons, with different persons, with and all of them, they do his job, and that's the way we have to do it. And don't say, "Oh, maybe I'm going to do it." Just do it. That's the only way we're going to be legal, believe it or not. And it's going to be a long way. But if you help, maybe it's going to decrease, and then we're going to say, "Oh, we are legal." And we're going to say thank you for everybody who work and help to be possible to be legal. First of all, Rob, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Nelson. It's been a pleasure.
I would like in the future, I'm going to talk with you in private. I would like for you to make some lives, not with me, you making these lives with the people,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
with the people who are disabled in your country. You talking direct with these persons, and listen to these persons explaining, and like today one of them was here. Thank you for coming, and say why is important for them, why they need this electric device, because I think they are very important for them. It's not just
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Nelson. I think one thing I'd like to get across before we come to a close, and that is,
Mhm.
if you have a disability and you own a PLEV that's helping your disability, then please send an email to my Ridables address. It's rob@ridables.com. No, .org. Sorry,
But I'm going to leave the link
rob@ridables.org.
there.
Leave the link, and just tell me a little bit about yourself, and what disability you have, and what you ride, how long you've been riding. If you've got a picture, that'd be great, because I'm putting together a spreadsheet whereby, as and when we engage with the media, we would like to use first names only, so we know other personal details being given out, and very high level overviews to give the media an idea as to how important these devices are. And the more people that we know of who are being helped by PLEVs, the better.
Thank you so much. And if you are out there, I'm going to try to speak with
Thank you,
Rob.
Lucas.
Thank you, Lucas. I just want to say to everybody who was there, but first of all, if you have like, contact him. Uh, First, second of all, we're going to try to bring some persons here. If you like to come and speak a little more about your disabled, why you need this electro device for you, just contact Rob, and we make possible for you to come here and speak a little more. Maybe you're going to help lots of persons, lots of persons who are out there, they don't have the chance to speak. Maybe they don't have internet. Maybe they are afraid to speak. In maybe you're going to be the person who's going to open the doors for these persons, and your voice is important. Don't forget, this is no propaganda. We don't win nothing with this. This is a channel. I always said the money, if I make someday, the money is going to be open for everybody to see it, and I hope I can help Ride Hables to do something, and other people who need it. That's why we make this channel. If someday we put everything uh, free, this channel is going to say, was not Nelson, was Rob, was Nelson, was everybody was in these interviews. Everybody who comes in these interviews, they are the persons, they are the voices. If you are out there, I thank a lot to Rob, because Rob was the person who contacted me. Nelson, that is something we need to talk about it, and I was very in. I was not. I'm going to put it in the right way. I was like everybody. I was blind, and I didn't know nothing about nothing. And you show me the way, and that's why we always have to work together. Thank you so much. uh like always, I leave you with the last words for everybody who came to see, and for everybody who going to see it tomorrow, or maybe next day. Rob.
So yeah, I'd just like to say thank you all for coming, and keep pushing. These devices are wonderful. They are the future. They're gonna clear our roads. They're gonna make our environment better. And something close to my heart is that they're going to help people with disabilities and injuries get around more cheaply and easily than they can currently. So ride safe, everybody. Thank you for coming, and keep it real.
I just want to say, Rob, thank you so much for coming, and you are doing a fantastic job. You and Right Ables, go there, subscribe, and please make your questions, help him, contact him. I'm going to leave all the links. Have a good night. Don't forget, tomorrow is the live in German. Always Mondays is German. If you are from international, Mondays, always the interview is in German. Thank you. Have a good night, good day, good morning. There is persons from, I know there is persons from Australia there now. Is being a good morning for us. Is we going to sleep now.